This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so in our previous class, we're understanding something about types of flow rules and how to call one flow into another flow and other things. So generally, to call one flow into another flow, we use subprocess. Okay, and to call one flow into another flow for multiple times, we go for split for each. So if I wanted to call multiple flow rules into one single flow, we go for split join. So this is what we understood. Okay, now if my requirement is little different, that is like, consider this as our HR onboarding process, where there might be screen number one for customer details, and screen number two maybe for educational details, screen number three maybe like employment details capturing. After that, there can be like background verification related things and post the offer letter generation. Consider this as our main parent case. Fine. So whenever your HR is onboarding you, maybe there can be one employee ID, that is work object ID, getting generated, and you'll be giving with your screen number one details. Maybe after that screen two, educational, maybe employment. Post that background verification. In background verification, there should be police verification and employment verification, maybe educational verification. And again in police verification, there might be three screens. So one screen may be for local police, district police, state police, maybe like in education, 10th standard checking up, 12th standard verification, 15th standard verification, maybe something like company one, company two, whatever. So you are supposed to call flow rule 1, flow rule 2, flow rule 3 into main flow rule, right? This is our parent flow rule, and somewhere I have to call these three child flow rules. So if we wanted to call three flow rules or multiple flow rules into main flow rule, out of these three, what we generally we use? Is it like
Split join.
subprocession, split for each, or split join? Okay, let me cover this class in English so that I have to, it will be useful for you as well. Okay. So out of these three, what will be the best smart shape to be used?
Split join, sir.
Split join in the go. So it is like multiple flow rules to be called in main flow rule, yes or no? So we have to go with split join. Okay, so if I'm going with split join, again there is a problem for us. So we know this will be the employee ID getting generated, meaning this is the reference number. Now if I'm a representative from police verification, consider there is one representative like A, one representative like B, and one representative like C. So if representative A, if he is working on this particular task, so in his work list, this item should be available. And for another person, this related item should be available. Maybe for this person, this item should be available. So in their work list, what will be the reference number? Tell me. So in their work list, what will be the reference number? If an item is routed for you in your work list, what will be the reference number? Same work object ID na kada? Tell me.
Sir.
So it will be same work object ID, meaning I have to get this item routed with this number, and for the other person also with the same number, maybe for third representative also with the same number. Yes or no? This is common for us. Now, if representative A is opening and working on this, he will be getting a screen something like local police verification. So he'll just go to the nearest local police and try to inquire about that candidate. It might take almost like 20 minutes. And after submitting, next screen may be like district level police checking up, and for that he might have to travel for 2 hours, and this might take like 30 more minutes, whatever it is. So from morning 10 o'clock if he's trying to work on this work object item, okay, lock will be acquired, right? So other representative, if he's trying to open same maybe for educational verification, is that possible? It will be saying like this is locked by so and so other person, yes or no? Avuna kada? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
So there will be work object locking. There will be work object locking in this case. So this person, if he's trying to open, if he's getting a message saying like this is locked, he cannot talk to other person, or maybe he cannot directly call to HR and saying like this is locked, can you please ask him to release the lock? You cannot coordinate all these things. So as a representative, as a like BGV representative, I will not get contact of other representatives, which is like other kind of verification. and even I cannot directly call to HR also. Maybe if it is like work object locking within our organization, maybe one operator if is opening, if it is like locked by other operator, I can simply call you or message you, we can internally coordinate. But if it is like this kind of different vendors, how far it is feasible? It is not possible. It is not possible. So the main purpose of we having for this kind of different plural execution is for parallel processing only. So I want this to be parallel executed, this one parallel executed, this one parallel executed. But because of work object locking, parallel processing is stopped. Everyone agree with this?
Yes,
Yes
sir.
or no?
Yes, sir.
So parallel processing is locked, is stopped here. Okay, so can we remove work object locking then?
No.
Can we
No,
remove
sir.
work object locking? 100% no. If we remove work object locking, maybe first person, if he's trying to approve this, okay, and after that, from the same vendor, another person, if he's trying to reject it, so what is the overall status? So there should not be such scenarios. Okay, there should not be such scenarios. So work object locking should be 100% there, and here parallel processing should happen. Then how we can understand? Yeah, we can understand parent case. Once it is moving up, once it is started, I can see kind of asynchronous behavior. Asynchronous behavior in the sense, child 1 is executed, child 2, child 3 executed parallelly. So it is not like one after another, it is like parallelly synchronized, sorry, asynchronous at a time. So this got routed, this got routed, this got routed. Asynchronous behavior is what we are seeing very clearly. But parallel processing is not happening. So if any person from here is opening, so it will be acquired lock, and so that other vendors they cannot open, and even HR also cannot open. So if this person is working, 1 2 3 4 will be locked, and whether HR can open this parent case or not, even HR cannot open. So not at all possible in this case. Parallel processing is not at all possible. Then how to work on these scenarios? Sub-process, split for each, split join, these three are not working. These three are like calling one into another, maybe for multiple times, or maybe like single time, whatever it is. But parallel processing, it is not possible now. That is the reason PRPC has come up with one new approach. What is that approach? Yesterday I told you. What is that?
No.
Yes, sir.
Hmm? Spin-off. What is spin-off? Spin-off
Like,
meaning synchronous, asynchronous. So
synchronous
anyway,
execution.
behavior is,
Synchro.
yeah. Anyways, behavior is asynchronous only. That is spin-off only. Spin-off hai kada. But if my question here is not to go for synchronous or asynchronous. My question here is to how to go for parallel processing. So after asynchronous behavior of routing, how to make this parallelly processed? That is my question. For that,
Case
existing
management.
concepts are not enough. PRPC has come up with one new solution called case management covers. What is
Yes,
that?
ma'am. Yeah.
Case
CMS.
management
Case man.
covers. So what is the purpose of case management covers, or what is, or actually our problem here is, if an work object ID is generated and if it is routed equally for multiple persons, if those are to be parallelly working on, because of locking I cannot proceed further. So we cannot remove locking. If instead, if I can have it like different work object ID numbers, then that should be possible, right? Here 1 2 3 4 as the number getting generated. If if this particular floral one is executed, if we are giving like same ID linked for that, then locking comes into picture. Instead, give different ID, maybe something like P dash one, maybe for this E dash one, for this V dash one. So if we can give different work object IDs for different cases, so there will not be any kind of locking acquired, right? So parent and child's having different work object IDs. This concept is called covers concept. Case management covers. Everyone understood, right? Why PRPC has introduced covers management now?
Yes, sir.
Adamandam?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, fine. So maybe this is like basic details section. This is like address details section. Maybe this is like educational details. Maybe this is like employment details. And after that, maybe kind of three child flow rules executing. Okay, fine. So maybe this is our parent flow rule, and I have to call child 1, child 2, child 3. So how to call childs into parent? We are having only 3 smart shapes. Out of these 3, you told me like split join, but split join cannot generate different work object numbers. So split join, what it can do, it can make 3 flow rules executed and join it and send it to the parent. That is what it can do. So split join or subprocess or split for each. These shapes cannot make child flow rules to be generating with new ID. Getting my point? So it cannot generate new ID for the childs. That is the reason parent cases and child cases with different IDs is not possible with our traditional flow design. Getting my point? It's not possible with our traditional flow design. So then 100% you have to go for case types only, parent cases, child cases only. It's not like parent flow rule, child flow rule. So this is possible only with case types concept. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So now we are anyway having one case type. So we'll treat this like a parent case, no doubt in it. So I can see some design here where if a case type is executed, we can see stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, whatever. Maybe after this particular stage 1 might be like customer details, stage 2 employment details, stage 3 educational details, whatever. After 3 or 4 screens, somewhere I have to execute child cases. Don't use like flows now. You have to use like cases. So after maybe 3 or 4 steps, I have to instantiate maybe child cases. One case may be for police verification, one case may be like educational verification, and one more thing like employment verification. So here child cases to be instantiated and child cases to be executed parallelly. That is possible if it is given with different work object IDs. Different work object IDs. So now let us understand how to create child cases first. After I creating child cases, then you have to take care of when those child cases to be instantiated. So child cases will not be executed straight away whenever parent is executed. Whenever your HR is starting onboard process, will it like immediately background verification triggers? No. Maybe in parent case, after reaching some point, after this screen 1, screen 2, screen 3, after we collecting some information, maybe whenever parent is reaching some point, then trigger child cases. Meaning child cases after you create, you have to take care of 3 things. You have to take care of 3 things. So when these childs should be instantiated, that is first thing. When childs to be instantiated, and second thing, so what type of locking has to be included in between these childs, and third thing, what should be the work object prefix for every child. So here if it is like c dash, even though if it is getting like c dash 2, maybe like next number c dash 3, next number c dash 4, it's not correct, right? It's not correct. It's not looking feasible. It should be something like unique prefix. And you have to take care of something called data propagation also. What is that? What is this word? Tell me. Data
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 propagation.
propagation.
what is data propagation? So creating child case is very simple, not a problem. And the challenge what we face is data propagation. So maybe this as our parent case. So this as our parent case. So what I will be doing, maybe I'll be entering customer details, first name, something like Chandra. Okay, mobile number, something as 12345. And next screen, maybe 10th marks, maybe like 75. Maybe one more thing, address as Hyderabad. So customer details is what we are capturing. After we capturing customer details in the parent case, listen carefully. Okay, after we collecting some details in the parent case, so these parent case data should be transmitted to child cases, yes or no? చెప్పండి. So parent data should be transmitted to the child, then only PGV and other things can be processed. Am I correct? So
Yes, sir.
this
Yes,
concept
sir.
is called data propagation. It's not like data transferring. So there is a lot of difference. So transferring of data, okay, from one point to another point, we use data transform generally. But from parent case to child cases, data transmitting is called data propagation. So data propagation meaning maybe here I'll be having one child case. So where design should be something like first name as Chandra, whatever the word we enter, mobile number as something like this, so 10th marks as something like this, whatever. And below there should be like is verification done, yes or no. This should be the design consider. So in that scenario, whatever the data we enter, that should be copied into child case 1 and maybe into child case 2, maybe into child case 3, maybe into child case 3. So for this, copying data from one case to another case, is that really possible? Is that really possible? So if I'm trying to run, if I'm execute this work object ID, C-1 will be there. In clipboard, this C-1 content will be placed at clip on pure page only. Kada? So if I open clipboard, py work page will be there. On pure page, class will be its own class and py id is equal to C-1. Am I correct or not? Okay,
Yes.
now if after at some point if child cases are instantiated, so maybe this work object ID might be P-1, something unique should be no. So if it is like P-1, so if we open clipboard, okay, so this work object information should be stored onto its pure page, meaning this py work page is different, this py work page is different, correct enough? Suppose if we run a traditional flow rule on py work page, I can see C-1. You run one more flow rule, new different work object ID will be generated, and on pure page you can see C-2. Now, if your thread is something like C-2, pure page will be having like C-2 content. By any chance, can you get C-1 information seeing in this thread? Tell me.
No, sir.
Not at all possible. Not at all possible. Similarly, this is one work object ID, this is one work object, this is one work object, this is one. Even though if it is like parent and child, because of parallel processing, I want to go with different numbers. If it is like different work object ID, clipboard thread will be completely different. So pure page context will be somewhere related to this in this case. Maybe pure page will be holding data related to P-1, maybe P-2 here, maybe P-3. So how to get data of one work object ID information into another work object ID information? It's not that easy. Okay, it's not that easy. So if it is between one work object, then I can transform the data transform can be used. But here between different threads, data transferring is not at all possible. Technically there is a big challenge here. That is the reason PRPC is trying to propagate the data. So we have to use a word called data propagation. This is the reason, where data from parent to child, generally it is possible, but because of two different work object IDs, it's very difficult. And vice versa, maybe if I'm selecting no, if I'm representative here, if I say like background verification is failed, then this value should be carried to parent, right? This value should be again carried back to parent, which is again a big challenge for us, which is again a big challenge. It's not that simple. So first let us understand how to create child cases. Once we understand how to create child cases and its design, then we'll come to know how data propagates from parent to child. Is it really possible or not? And how data will be reverse sent from child to parent. Is it really possible? Maybe if data between two childs, whether this is possible or not. So these kind of things we have to concentrate. And as I told you, we have to concentrate something like locking also. Okay, first let us create maybe like two child cases. One for police verification, maybe one for maybe educational verification. Everyone clear so far?
Sir.
Tell me. మిగతా వాళ్ళు అర్థమవుతుందా?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes, sir.
first you have to understand what is our problem. Then you have to understand what should be the fix for that. How PRPC is understanding its own problem and how it is giving the fix. Okay, so simple ga, if you're understanding about one rule, don't learn just for the sake of learning. You have to understand why are we learning that rule. So what is the drawback with other existing rules? Why they have introduced this new concept? How to how the old challenges will be overcome here? Okay, and what are the advanced features in this latest rules? All these things we have to understand. It's not that simple to learn everything, kada? So you have to first elaborately understand that. First I have to analyze thoroughly, and then I have to make you understand the subject, and I have to inject every concept into your mind. It's not that simple challenge. Okay, so you have to concentrate well. Okay, so this is our parent case. Now let us understand how to create child cases. So generally, to create a child case, this is what you have to use. If I'm using this one case will be created, and considering this one as the parent. This one as the parent meaning, we know for this there is one class created. So this is the class. So this is the class for that parent case. For that parent case. Now if I'm creating one child case, then class will be created in this way. Class will be created in this way. So if a new case creating, if it is linked to the existing parent case, then it will be treated like child. So let me create one child case 1. So let me give it like police verification. Okay. And in the advanced settings, make sure what is the parent name. If it is showing like work class, then what will happen? So this case will be created like in sibling to the main parent, which is not correct. So you have to create this second child for the existing one. For that you have to give the class name. You know, for that you have to give its parent class. And here also you have to give the same parent class. Now you have to click on submit. Now you have to click on submit. So I'm creating one child class now. Fine. So let me delete this. If you don't want, let me delete this. So let us try to include one screen, maybe something for police verification, subscreen like this. And let us include properties also. Okay, or let us try to include properties manually so that you understand easily. So police verification will be the flow rule name, and this might be like one assignment. So if I'm trying to configure now itself, so we know flaction, section, and even properties to be created. Okay, let's do right now. Okay, let's try to do it here. So now our intention is whenever we run main case, so we know customer details section will be showing up where I'll enter first name, something like last name and other things. And this data has to be propagated somewhere to its child case. If I open child case, I have to get first name values somewhere whatever I entered there. Last name maybe whatever I entered there. And we will be having one more thing like, so is verified as yes or no with two options. Since we are designing this child case, let us include three properties now. So let us include three properties. So can I straight away use those properties from there to here? Can I straight away use those properties from there to here? Or should I have to create new properties again?
You can use.
So if I'm trying to use property from somewhere parent to top, so will there not be any kind of overriding problem? Will there not be any kind of overriding problem? Generally it will be there, but we don't want to add again first name and last name here. We just wanted to use content from there to here. So if I simply use property reference, above value will be directly copied here, no doubt in it. But because of clipboard page referencing different, so how can you get the content? How can you get the content? Tell me. So whatever the data I enter, that should be related to C-1, and that data has to be copied to P-1. Is that possible? Is it possible?
No, sir.
Not at all. Not at all. So for that, let us try to create these two properties again in our child class. So how data propagation happens, that we'll understand slowly. So let me configure this screen where we have to create three properties: first name, last name, and this one. So let me straight away configure from here. So let me give it like first name underscore police verification is equal to model. Last name underscore police verification and something like police verification done. Okay, police verification done. So let us give it like a radio button or drop down. Submit this. Okay, so I have created properties in background section will be created and full action action will be created. And after this screen is done, maybe if I'm a representative, I know I'll be getting this screen. Okay, after this screen is done, generally we get like confirm harness. Generally we get confirm harness. And actual requirement here is if I'm rejecting this value, maybe if I'm clicking on yes, meaning BGC is passed. Parent case should understand that this is passed. Maybe if I'm rejecting, so parent case again should understand that this got rejected. Generally, parent to data and vice versa, data transmission is not that simple. But this is already done. This is already included OOTP. This happens generally. Okay. Now, from child to parent, if we wanted to send back the data, generally it is possible with status. So generally it is possible with status. What is the child case status? Is child case complete or if child case rejected? That is what we have to understand. Maybe in this screen, I'm having like police verification as yes or no as two options. If I select yes, don't expect that yes value will be reaching to the parent. Don't expect that no value, whatever you select here, that it will be reaching to the parent. It will not be sending out this clipboard referencing values to above clipboard or above parent. Okay, but parent and child transmission happens based on statuses. అర్థమవుతుందా?
Yes,
So whatever the value like first name and last name I enter, that is actually possible to come from parent to child. So parent to child data propagation is possible. Even if it is difficult, it is possible. And maybe if I'm selecting no, meaning background verification is rejected, so parent case should not generate offer letter for him, right? Maybe if it is yes, so they should generate offer letter, meaning the changes what we make in child again should be reaching to the parent. But don't expect this values as like yes or no reaching to the parent. That is not possible. So the status, so child case status, if it is resolved, that will be reaching to the parent. If it is rejected, that it will be reaching to the parent. Meaning, so child case data, that is status alone, will be reaching to the parent. So after the screen number one, maybe the child case, after the screen number one, you are supposed to make something like status set. That is what the point. So you have to set the status. So for that, let us add one more stage and something like case police verification approved, something like this. And maybe one more stage, police verification rejected, something like this. So now I wanted to make this case as the final one, resolving the case here, and I have to set the status. Status as resolved completed. If status is resolved, then parent will consider that this is pass. Okay, fine. And maybe this one, maybe this one. This is also like resolution case where this should be given like resolved rejected. So result cancelled or result rejected. So let me give it like result cancelled, whatever it is. So PRPC will understand or parent case will understand about its status only. Fine. So here both are like resolution, right? This is end stage as well as this also end stage. After screen number one, we are supposed to execute, or maybe generally after screen number one, next stage after stage it will be executed. But if it is yes, then this stage will be executed. If it is no, then this should be executed. So conditional basis stage execution should happen now. For that, just open this particular stage, go for validation and give some condition. So dot police verification done. If this is equal to yes, you can define it in this way. Or you can straight away go for using an function which will be under string library. So equals ignores case dot police verification if this is equal to, so comma, if this is equal to yes, this is what I have to check. So if this value equal to yes, then these two are true. These both are matching. Maybe if it is like capital Y also, this is matching. Okay. So I'm just trying to compare whether police verification value is yes or not. If police verification equal to yes, then I have to execute this stage. Then we will be having status set as this. If not, this step will be executed where I'll be having status as cancelled. So overall child case status is what I want. That is what important. And based on this, parent data will be forwarded. Okay. Let me save this one. Everyone understanding so far? Clear
Yes,
everyone?
sir.
What about others?
Yes, sir.
అందరికీ అర్థమైందా? Fine. So let me save this. So I have just created one child case, maybe with certain strings. Now this child case to be instantiated, right? This child case to be instantiated. When it will be instantiated? So whenever parent case is running, this child case also running is not correct. So parent case, if it is like started now, I'll get screen number 1 there, customer details section. So by without entering all these details, child case instantiating is also not correct. So child case to be instantiated whenever parent is reaching to some point. So we have to define instantiating option in the child case in its settings. So that we'll do later. For now, let me create one more child case. Add a child case, something like educational verification, and make sure you update its parent class name. You have to give this as a parent. Okay, and select the same one. Submit this. Okay, fine. So let me delete this first screen flow. Let me add one more step, maybe something like educational verification as the flow rule name, and assignment shape also with the same name. And now let me configure things same way. Now child 2 should be instantiated where I have to get first name by default. What are the first name we enter that has to be reaching here? What are the last name we enter that has to be reaching here? And here I have to select something like yes or no. Again, extra options. So this is like data propagation. Let us include 3 properties. Configure view. Let me give it like first name underscore employment verification or educational. Last name underscore employment verification. And something like educational verification done. Okay, make it like list. So with values like yes, no, submit. So we have created properties. So automatically section and flaction also should be created now. Okay, fine. And as I told you, child case, that is an educational verification, whether the status is yes or no, true or false, that has to be reaching to the parent. That is possible only with the status. So let me add new stage something like education verified with whatever meaningful name you want. Educational verified. And one more stage, maybe education rejected. And you have to make this executed only value as S, right? Equals ignore case dot. I'll be getting properties from this class only now. Educational verified equal to yes. This is what I have to check. So let me submit this. Okay, this stage will be executed only if this value equal to yes. In that scenario, we'll be setting status as completed, resolved completed. Okay, and the other one, if this condition is failing, this will be executed, and this is like resolution case, and even this one also kind of resolution. Okay, when condition we have included, and for this we are supposed to set status as like resolved cancelled, resolved rejected. Okay, fine. So let me save this also. So we have created two child cases. So next thing what we have to do, so we have to check whether these two child cases are instantiated when a parent is executed. So we know this is our parent case. Okay, so you need not link anything again manually. So parent case will be internally linked with child cases. Just run this parent, automatically child cases to be instantiated somewhere. Somewhere in the sense, again, we have to update some settings. So parent is executed. I'll get screen number one. I'll get screen number one. So you complete from here to the last, till the last, and if you just check in the pending list, you'll find only one work object ID. You don't find anything like two new work object IDs created for childs. So meaning child cases are linked for this parent, but when those childs to be triggered, that instantiation is not be defined. So for that, go to child case and go to settings. Here there will be something called instantiation. Okay, so when this child should be instantiated. So here nothing is selected, meaning child is not even active now. We have to make this instantiated somewhere. Okay, fine. So I'm creating one parent case where I'll be linking with three childs. Police verification, educational verification, maybe employment verification, whatever. And in technical language, this parent case should be called as cover case. What is that? Parent should be called as cover case. And these childs should be called as, can anyone guess and tell
Covered
me?
case.
Word.
Hmm? What is that? Covered.
Covered.
Covered cases. Meaning we'll be having one parent and multiple covereds, right? Avuna kada?
Yes,
So
sir.
we'll be having multiple covered cases. Fine. After you creating covered cases, you are supposed to make this covered case one to be instantiated from some part of parent. And this also to be instantiated maybe after some part. Maybe this one, maybe after some part. Maybe in parent case, screen one is like customer details. And next screen may be like address details. Next screen educational details. Next screen employment details. Meaning covered case 1 to be instantiated after screen number 1 kada, and educational maybe after screen number 3, right? Maybe this one after screen number 4. So you are supposed to set when these covered cases to be instantiated from the parent. Okay, so for that, open any covered case and go for certain options whatever you're finding. So we'll be having some options like manual, automatic. So manual instantiation 99% will not do. So without executing parent case, meaning without onboard a person, will there be any BGP by default done? No. Without an employee joining the company, will there be any kind of laptop request raised? No. So 99% manual instantiation will not be there. Maybe if I have to go for reverse BGP, today you'll join one company. So parent case will be executed and then child case, that is like background verification, will be instantiated. After 1 year, if company wanted something to be done, that is like removing you from company, so stating the reason like BGV again got failed. In that scenario, BGV should be again triggered. So meaning child case to be manually instantiated them. It's not like again parent triggering. Okay, it's not like again you registering like a new employee. So child case to be triggered in that case, which is like very rare scenarios. So let me go for automatic. So if I'm going for automatic, you'll find two options. What is that? Whenever a parent case is starting, that is first option. And second option is like on some conditional basis. In my requirement, whenever parent is start, executing child is not correct. Maybe after some portion, its respect to child should be triggered. So here you have to select like second radio button. So below conditions, whenever it is met, that is what options we are seeing. And here, if I click on add conditions, so don't expect like any kind of when conditions, or don't expect like any kind of decision rules or condition expressions here. So you will be seeing everything based on status. Suppose if I'm selecting this case, I can see it's a parent case as well as other child cases, right? I wanted to instantiate police verification now. So this can be instantiated based on parent case reaching some point of execution. Maybe child case after it is completed. So we'll be having such options related to parent case and other child case related status only. So let me select a parent case. When parent case having any parent case having such status, then it will be triggered. Now I have to execute this police verification after parent case completing the screen number 1, right? First I have to collect all this information. Then only this first name and last name will be triggered to its child. So after screen number 1, I have to instantiate childs. So after screen number 1 meaning, maybe we are using screen flow here. Okay, fine. So whenever we are reaching this parent details section, then we can able to trigger both the childs. So go for this one. So whenever we are reaching here, we are supposed to trigger. So for this, just simply set the status. Click on down arrow. So set the status something like whatever looks meaningful for you. Maybe let me give it like pending investigation. So whenever parent case is having pending investigation as the status, okay, so whenever parent case is having pending investigation as the status, child's to be instantiated. Making sense for us? అర్థమవుతుందా? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me give like parent status. If it is like pending investigation, then this police verification child has to be instantiated. Let me save this. Stale. Okay, you have to refresh once. So go to this one. Okay, so meaning child 1 instantiation is done. Similarly, you have to go to another child. Go to its settings. Before that, let's refresh once. So go to its settings and go for instantiating, and this one, and here whenever parent case is having like status as pending investigation, this is what you have to understand. So I am trying to instantiate both the childs, and remember this instantiating option you will find only for childs, you will not find it for parent. Open parent case, go to its settings, you will not find like instantiating, because parent case to be instantiated by an user, I have to run it manually. It's not like instantiating automatically. But these childs to be instantiated only when parent is reaching to some part. Okay, fine. You'll be getting data instantiating option. So consider one thing. Maybe this like educational verification. This being a child, I'll be getting data instantiating option. If I'm trying to create one more child for this, is that not possible? Is that not possible? It's possible, right? So I can create one more child for this. Okay, I'll create child for educational verification. In that scenario, will you find instantiating option for educational verification? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Question అర్థమైందా?
Sir.
So maybe this is like parent. Parent, we understood it will not have data instantiating, because that will be instantiated manually. And for this I'm creating a child, maybe like email verification or something like that. And here we'll be finding data instantiating option, because this is like child, this should be instantiated from some part of the parent. Now if I'm creating child for this, something like ABC, this being a child, we know we'll be having data instantiating option for this. So will we find like data instantiating option for this middle one? Yes or no? Now it's like parent, right? Parent for ABC. Will you find such instantiating option? Hmm?
Yes, sir.
ఉంటుందా? Even though if it is like parent for this ABC, it's like child for main parent kada.
Yes, sir.
So meaning from some part of this parent, this should be instantiated. So it will be having data instantiating option. Okay, fine. So we have instantiated both the childs. Okay, both the childs. Now let us run this main case. So let me run this main case, and you will not find child cases instantiated by this time. I'm giving like test1, test2, these two values what we wanted to carry. And whenever parent case status is pending investigation, now it's like pending investigation. child cases to be instantiated by this time. Okay, child cases are to be instantiated. Now if I'm trying to submit this whole, okay, parent case, if I'm trying to submit till the last, so don't think like this case is resolved. Avuna? Suppose if I'm trying to run a case, generally C-1 will be generated. And if I reach to the last, what does that mean? Case is resolved, right? Parent case is closed. But here, parent case is having some childs also. So if I'm going till the last, this parent might be stopped at some point. It has to wait for some status again back from childs. So parent case will not be closed. So if I go till the last in the confirm harness, I have to see generally pending things meaning child case IDs I'll see as like still pending. So just to check that, you can simply refresh. If you refresh, you'll get some kind of confirmation screen, right, where I can see this ID and this ID getting generated. So are you seeing two different work object IDs? Are you seeing two different work object IDs? I can see educational verification something like P as the prefix, police verification P as the prefix. So if we just check it in the case types or in the application definition, so you should be getting police verification with this as the prefix, educational verification as this as the prefix. But these two are not like manually instantiating. So these are like automatic, right? So you'll not be finding it from here. Not find it from here. Fine. So now let us understand creating two different operators also. So let us navigate or let us route this item to educational representative, maybe this one, maybe for police verification representative. Let us create two operator IDs and let us check how the locking mechanism will be there, whether both the persons can be parallelly working on those or not. Okay, let us create two new operator IDs. Okay, so this is like manager operator ID. I'm trying to save as this. Maybe I'm giving it like RBL police representative. That's it. Police verification representative. Simply save this and save as this for one more time. Maybe RBL educational verification. Simply create and open. So we have created two operator IDs. Next, what I have to do? So this operator ID, we have to define it like routing, right? Maybe this as our educational verification. Just open this one and give, sorry. So I'm giving this representative name and saving this. Everyone following, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, for police verification, so let me define this. Now we'll understand something new design. So let me save this. For police verification, we have to route this. Okay. And for educational verification, we have to route to this. Okay. So now let us run case again. I'm running parent case. So I'm entering first name, last name. Let me submit this. So data will be instantiated once we reach this one. So you have to check it here, maybe in the confirm harness, whether those two are generated or not. And this has to be routed for educational representative. So let me log in. RBL educational verification tools. So this item should be available in his work list, not in the basket. Sorry. So this item should be available in his work list. Is it available? E2010. So that item is there. Okay, fine. I'll not open it now. So let us again log in with this representative RBL police verification. So for that, let me use another browser. So maybe RBL police verification. And here I can see even this one. Okay, so this item is routed to police representative and this item is routed to educational representative. Fine. And if this particular item is opened, so I'm opening this one. So we know parent work object ID is L dash and child 1 is P dash, child 2 is E dash. All these three are different, right? So we know there should not be any problem with work object locking. Am I correct? Just tell me. Parent case is L and other one is P and other one is E. So three cases, three different work object IDs. So there should not be any concept of locking. Am I correct or not?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Okay, fine. So let me open this one, meaning educational representative is opening his screen where we have to get his own design. That is like first name has to be showing up, last name and verification done or not. So we did not propagate the data still. So as of now, it will be blank. No worries there. So I can see this item opened up. Now other representative, even if it is different work object ID, if I'm trying to open this, what are we getting? What are we getting? Tell me. It a message. This is currently locked by other representative. Is this message not kind of work object locking?
Yes, sir.
Is this message kind of work object locking or not? Avuna
Yes.
kada? So work object locking is acquired. So acquired on what? What is this work object? Is that not parent? Is that not parent? I am trying to open E dash related content. And then so VDM PSLE. Okay. So here I am trying to open P dash related content, but it is showing like lock acquired on L, that is parent. So why parent came into picture? Okay. Let's close this parent. So this is like parent case. Let me close this. Meaning L dash is not open, right? Am I correct? L dash is not open. Am I correct? Okay. So we can understand here E dash is open. Okay. So this person can straight away access, no problem there. Now let us open P dash. Now still what is it showing? It is showing like L dash is currently locked. Who opened that L dash? Tell me. Who opened that L dash? Am I seeing anything like L dash opened here? Yes or no? Who opened that L dash? అర్థమవుతుందా? Are we seeing like locking acquired on L dash this number 19016? Are we seeing that? Not at all. But
No.
here we are seeing like this is locked by so and so representative. So representative name also will be there. And if we just give three different names, since we have save as to three different operator IDs, but then there are loans and only. So we cannot easily understand here. If we give it like educational representative, police verification representative, or HR representative, then you will see name as this one. You'll see name as this one. So we can see it something like educational verification opened. So you'll see like main parent case is locked by educational representative. That is what you'll see. Getting my point? So you are understanding something like whenever parent case is executed C-1, maybe with the names Chandra. So Chandra has executed this parent case, consider. And at some part P-1 and E-1 is instantiated. P-1 is routed to some person like Ravi and E-1 maybe like Sita. So C dash 1, okay, P dash 1, okay. If this Ravi is opening his own item from his work list, so that is getting opened, no doubt in it. And now if Sita is trying to open her own work object, it is saying like C dash 1 is locked by Ravi. This is what you have to understand. Getting my point? C dash 1 is locked by Ravi. You will not find it like Chandra. Maybe if it is locked by Chandra, if we close that work object ID also, you'll still get C dash 1 is opened by Ravi. What Ravi has actually opened? P dash 1, right? What Ravi has opened? P dash 1. So why it is getting like C dash 1 locked by Ravi? Maybe if Ravi has closed this. Maybe if Ravi has closed this. Okay. Now this person is trying to open P dash 1. Is it accessible now? Is it accessible? Yes or no? Is it accessible? So if he's trying to open this C-1, so he can open this now. Okay. Now if this first person, if he's trying to open this item, it will say like C-1 is locked by Sita. This is what you'll get it. So finally, what are you understanding? Whenever you open any child case, work object locking will be generally acquired on its item. But here we are seeing work object locking acquired on its parent. If any covered case is opened, acquiring lock onto its parent, meaning where is the parallel processing then? So if same work object ID routed for everyone, work object locking came into picture. That is the reason we have given different work object IDs. Even if we open any such different work object ID, acquiring lock on parent so that not allowing for other users uses behavior, correct? Got my question?
No, sir.
Question Abdamenda?
Yes, sir.
So then what is the concept of covers again? Then what is the concept of covers? ఏం లేదు కదా. So for this, we are supposed to understand something extra things that we'll talk tomorrow. Okay. So tomorrow.